Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday, although temporarily appearing on a Thursday on Gaming with ADHD. Today we are going to be taking another look at some of the Battletech miniatures from the Clan Invasion Kickstarter. These miniatures are from Catalyst Game Labs, and in this particular case we are looking at the Clan Ad Hoc Star. So sort of a mix of mechs. And now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you're going to know that I'm a big fan of the Technical Readout series of source books. These books contain hundreds of pages of rules for all of the big stompy robots that I am a huge fan of and that the game is known for. The books were presented as a sort of in-universe guide to military hardware. And on the pages of the books, you would find an artist rendition of the mech, usually using sort of like a technical line art in some of the earlier days, up to now where you actually get a lot more action-oriented, still black and white art, but not as much of a, we'll call it, technical drawing. Now, the thing is that because the game does not technically require any figures for play, you can use tokens. In my day, I used dice at times. Having the art did give you that idea of what did the mech look like that you were about to pilot into battle. Now, with that said, it doesn't mean that miniatures haven't always been a part of the game. Even from the earliest edition of the game, Battle Droids, the game did include miniatures to play the game with. And in later editions, when they included cardboard counters for the mechs, miniatures were available separately, although you typically had to build them yourself because they were multi-part metal miniatures. Now, in 2019, Catalyst Game Labs decided to do a Kickstarter to get more plastic miniatures created. And, they'd already done it with the Game of Armored Combat and the Beginner Box, but this would then allow them to move into the Clan Invasion era and just expand even on the Inner Sphere designs that were available. So, in this case, one of the sets that they produced is the Clan Ad Hoc Star. It does include, like I said, 5 mechs from the later Clan Invasion, because none of these were actually included in the original 3050 technical readout. So if you remember some of my earlier videos on doing these unboxings, the nose on line art that had very little depth to the art, that was pretty much only used in the 3050 technical readout. And so we're not going to have any of that kind of art in this review because, you're probably asking yourself, if you haven't watched one of these yet, why I'm doing an unboxing video for a set of miniatures that has, a window display where you can actually see the mechs that you're getting, and they're already pre-assembled. And you know what? You're right. But to me, there's always been that crossover between the art that was presented in the technical readout and the miniatures that we actually received. So, with that said, I'm going to continue, unboxing these. I've got another camera set up so that we can actually get some 360 views of the mechs. And while we're looking at the 360 view of the mech, I'm also going to look at some of the art, see where the mechs actually came from, and what they looked like when first introduced to the player community. So before we get started, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. For now, I am going to be putting out these unboxings on Mondays and Thursdays, possibly some Saturdays, depends on what sets I have available and what videos I have ready. But I'm at least going to be doing Mondays and Thursdays. And, so make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any notifications of those. And if you like what you see here, please, I would absolutely appreciate a like on the video and, a comment down below. What did you think of the mechs? Which art was your favorite? What, did you like any of these designs? So with that said, let's open this up and we'll take a quick look at the packaging itself and the cards that come with the figures. So this is the figures all in their tray. One thing I do want to point out, I really do like, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but I do like how they did the art on these boxes. You know, because they have the window, they did put art on the inside, so there is something, you know, fun in the background to take a look at. We've got a looks like a cougar there in the back, and the iconic Mad Cat or Timber Wolf front and center on that. So that was pretty cool. All right, so in this set we have 5 figures. Like I said, they're from the later Clan Invasion. And we've got the Kodiak, let's see, where are the markings? Okay. Which one? Oh, okay. So this is they have a very interesting way of marking this, FNTL. We've got our Fire Falcon. So the Kodiak, Fire Falcon, the Hellion, the Baboon, or I believe it's the Howler, and the Pack Hunter. All right, for the cards. All right. As you've probably seen in previous videos, we do get 2 cards for each mech. We get 1 pilot card, which gives the gunnery and piloting value for that particular pilot. It also gives just some background information. Rank of the pilot, what affiliation. So we've got Clan Wolf in Exile. We've got, part of Beta Galaxy and what mech they are piloting. And then if there are any, special abilities that they bring to the table, just to make the game a little more interesting. Let's see. So both of the Pack Hunter cards are for Clan Wolf in Exile. For the Howler, we've got a Jade Falcon and a Steel Viper. For the Hellion, we've got a Steel Viper and Diamond Shark. For the Fire Falcon, we've got Nova Cat and Jade Falcon. And the Kodiak is probably both going to be Ghost Bear. We've got 1 Ghost Bear and another Ghost Bear. I think it was the first of what they would call the totem mechs. And, I mean, it's a Kodiak. I mean, you don't really get more iconic than that for Clan Ghost Bear. All right, let's get a little bit of glare off of that. So then we also get our Alpha Strike card. So if you don't want to use the granular rules of regular Battletech, then you can use these simplified rules. It's more of a miniatures game, like Warhammer style rule set, just to get some larger games and kind of streamline the process. All right. So that is our cards, and let's start taking a look at the miniatures. And that is the wrong one. Also, get the rotator going. All right, now the Kodiak is one of my favorite non-Omni clan mechs. Change up our focus a little bit. So for me, the first time I remember the Kodiak was from Ghost Bear's Legacy for MechWarrior 2. It was the expansion pack for the game, and I'll be honest, I do not remember the art as much as I remember the opening cutscene where the Kodiak just comes out of the ice and literally just looks like a bear attacking the pilot in the opening cutscene. I absolutely love that. In this piece of art, now this was originally from the Invading Clans sourcebook. So they did a sourcebook for Clan Wolf, one for Jade Falcon, and then they did the Invading Clans book, which was for the remaining factions for Ghost Bear, Smoke Jaguar, Steel Viper, Nova Cat, and that was, it was just those four in the remainder, or in that particular book. So this is the first time that we actually got to see the Kodiak. I did not purchase that book right away. I waited until I probably wouldn't have seen the art that we got when they released Technical Readout 3058. So this would have been probably, that was probably like the 5th technical readout I had at that point. But this was the 3rd technical readout after the Clan Invasion storyline. I think that I think that this miniature, I'll be honest, I don't think it fits either of these pieces of art. I have not seen it in the Ill Clan recognition guide yet. But regardless, I think that even doing a bit more of a modern design, changing up the sculpt a little bit, they still captured the look. It's got the claws on the hands. It looks, like an upright charging bear. It's got the giant cannon in the right shoulder, the missile pack in the left. Even though you can't necessarily see that detail here. And then you've got the lasers over top the hands. This is a great looking mech, and I am really excited to paint this one up. This particular one is probably it's going to end up being a Beta Galaxy Clan Wolf mech, because I'm painting it for a friend, but still fun, still excited for this one. So that is the Kodiak. Now our next one is the Fire Falcon. And so this is just a little 25-ton mech, so sort of a Locust-like mech. Now, originally this came out in Technical Readout 3058. So again, that same technical readout where we find the Kodiak. And this is our Ill Clan Recognition Guide version. This was, I believe, volume 15. Yes, volume 15. And I really, really like this design. I think it's a big improvement over the original design, while still staying pretty faithful to it. But definitely looks like it's been modernized. Looks a bit more solid, and obviously is what they used for the miniature. I think the miniature, it's fairly simple, but I mean it is a 20-ton mech, so we don't have a ton of detail. But I think they did capture, you can see the like these seams across the legs. Overall it's a decent looking mech. Nothing fancy, just some big stompy robot. Now most, basically 4 out of the 5 of the figures in this set, they are going to be that light class, so smaller looking mechs. But I think it does, offset that Kodiak pretty well. All right, so that is our Fire Falcon. And our next one is going to be the Hellion. Now, this one originally showed up in Field Manual Crusader clans. So if you aren't familiar with much of the lore of the clans, basically during this time frame there are two main political factions. There are the Crusaders, who believe that they are to return and conquer the Inner Sphere, and there are the Wardens. Basically, they feel that they are to return, the clans should return and, guide the rest of the Inner Sphere, not, just conquer them and, make them their vassals. So, in this particular one, it did come from the Crusader clans field manual. Basically, the field manuals are a series of books that kind of detail particular factions, and since about half of the clans were Crusaders, this represents that particular half. So this is our first piece of art. Definitely more artistic. It has a bit of a rough kind of a sketch feel to it. Maybe it's being drawn by a pilot, because for some reason he didn't have a camera on his phone at the time or so. I don't know. I'm making horrible jokes. But this is then the first technical readout appearance, which was technical readout 3067, which basically would have been the end of the clan invasion era and probably overlapping a bit with the FedCom Civil War era. So obviously a much cleaner design, still matches up. We've got these, hexagon shaped SRM pods over here. And they definitely captured that in the look. But we actually are going off of this one. So I think this is a really good representation. Still kind of keeping with that 3067 art, but again, a little more modernized. Regardless, I'm not going to complain about a lot of these. This one's not necessarily my favorite, but it's a big stompy robot and it looks cool. So, I like it. All right, and so that is the Hellion. And let's see, the next one is going to be our Baboon. Now, this is technically a rescene figure. So this is the original piece of art from Tech Readout 3055. Now, the rescene were basically mechs that the owners of Battletech were concerned of potential lawsuits. So originally it was the mechs from basically original Battletech that had come from Macross, Dougram, and a few other anime that they didn't really... Well, let's just say that the licensing issues were complicated. In Tech Readout 3055, they had actually contracted an outside design firm to do some work for doing what they called the 2C. So the Phoenix Hawk 2C or the Shadow Hawk 2C, basically clan variants of of the original mechs, and basically they just didn't want to worry about any potential lawsuits. So when they took away the anime versions, they took those away as well. And this actually was one of the designs, which I'll be honest, I did not know until I was researching for this particular video. But so that's our first look at the Baboon in 3055. This was from 3055 Upgrade, so they did replacement art for a lot of the designs that had been left out. The unseen mechs actually have gone through a lot of rebuilds, variations to try and modernize them, bring them into the game again. And so this is sort of like an in-between stage, because then in the Ill Clan Volume 8, we get this version. Now, I will be honest, this is absolutely my favorite version of this particular mech. Yeah, so the Baboons is, it's supposed to have sort of like an ape-looking feel to it, and I think that this still holds on to that, but like the missile rack, on this one was not. I am not a fan of the way that looks, and then it also just doesn't look like it has any additional equipment. But this actually looks better. So this looks more like a headlight up here. It looks like a little bit more of a brawler. It doesn't look as fragile. So I really like this upgrade, and I think the miniature captures it almost perfectly. Really happy with this design, and I don't know much about the mech. I've never used it in a game, but I kind of want to now. I like this one. All right, so that is our Baboon. And now our last one, we only have one picture for it. This is the Pack Hunter. Also the Baboon and the Pack Hunter. Well, the Baboon was 3055, but the Pack Hunter is 3060. Was the technical readout that one showed up in. So basically, it is a 30-ton mech, and the only thing it has is an ERPPC. So basically, it is fast as all get out. It jumps around the battlefield, and then it is going to hit you with an energy weapon like a truck. If you've played a lot of Battletech, you can know that you get that one lucky shot with anything doing 12 or more damage. It is not going to end well, and I think at 30 tons, packing that ERPPC, you are looking for a bad time. The design, I do think, is a little rough. I can see what they're doing where, they've got like the, why can't I remember the name of them? The suspension here to, or shock absorbers. That's what I wanted. The shock absorbers here to obviously help with the landing. But it's a little bit boxy. I think the miniature still captures the design really well. It's, like I said, it's a little bit of a rough design, in my opinion, but I do think it still looks good. And how else are you going to draw that, that giant gun coming out of its shoulder? And I think they've done very well. So that is the Clan Ad Hoc Star. Basically, it is just a mix of stuff that I don't think really fit anywhere else, but they wanted to get it made. So there you go. Please, like I said, do comment down below. Which of the mechs are your favorite? What do you like? Have you played with any of these? Which are your favorites? Whatever it is, let's have some discussion, talk some Battletech. Happy to do so. Also, I will be putting a link to DriveThruRPG down below. It is an affiliate link. I do get a little bit of credit that I can use with DriveThruRPG so to help just offset some of the costs. So if you're going to be buying PDFs for Battletech, I'd appreciate it if you use the link. That way I can keep bringing you some of these reviews. I know that Tamar Rising is coming out soon. And I still need to pick up Ill Clan, and I definitely want to review those. So, anyways, just a thought, no requirement. I'll still keep making the videos regardless. But if you like what I did, please do give it a thumbs up. And, please subscribe to the channel so that you'll keep getting notified when I put more of these out. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.